Welcome to the Money Mindful podcast, where money mindset and life coach Meaghan Jean Smith, hey, that's me, teaches you how to transform your relationship to money and achieve your life goals so you can live a glorious, magnificent, delicious, awesome life and love being you. Well, hello and welcome to another episode of the Money Mindful podcast. I'm your host, Meaghan Jean Smith. Well, oh my gosh, this episode is going to come out a couple of days before the very last Uncapped session. And can I just say, far out, it is amazing how far you can come in just 4 short weeks. So the women who have been joining me regularly for Uncapped over these past few weeks have just been, light bulb moment after light bulb moment, striving forward towards their goals. So if you have been playing along at home and listening to the replays, amazing. If you've only just discovered what I'm talking about, oh my gosh, quickly go and sign up. You've only got a few days until we finish up. It has been an incredible 4 weeks. Well, not quite 4 weeks. We've still got 1 session to go. And I also want to encourage you to take advantage of the special offers that I have been offering during this period. So I have a VIP week available where you can come and work with me intensively for 1 week on your goals. This is like pouring rocket fuel onto your goals and helping them just blow up and grow with an intense week's coaching with me. So that involves a 90-minute intensive call, and then you will have access to me for the week via voice coaching to integrate what we go over on the call and to really get your goal off the ground. So this is perfect for you if you're wanting to start a new business, or you've got a business and you want to hit your next income goal, or maybe you've got a project that you want to get off the ground, get a podcast started, or create something, launch something new in your business. This is perfect for that. And I'm offering a special deal, like a special price for you at the moment, which is going to expire on May 18th. That's 2023, if you're listening to this in the future. So make sure you are taking advantage of all this amazing goodness that is going on right now. You've only got a couple more days to take these opportunities up and blast forward with your goals. So hook up with me wherever you're hanging out with me, on Instagram or email. Register for Uncapped, sign up for a VIP session. Let's create your goals. Okay, so today I want to help you address how to keep focusing on your goals when life gets busy. Okay, because if I parallel this to what we've been going through on Uncapped, we've gone through and we've defined what our amazing, big, juicy goals are, what we want to do. Then we've brainstormed all the ways that we can get that goal off the ground and get it happening. And last week we looked at all the challenges and obstacles that can get in the way. But one of the biggest obstacles that often gets in the way is our life, right? Just being in the busyness of our life. And one of my clients, I was having a conversation with her this morning, and she was just saying, how do I keep focusing on my goals when life gets busy? So she has this really big vision for her future. She's creating a business. She's in the very early stages of the idea stage, where she's going through and working out what it is that she wants to do and how she is going to make that happen. But in the meantime, she still has a life, and she's
working in a job and things are going on. She's got children. And so this is her challenge, right? How do I stay connected to the goal, and how do I keep focusing on the goal when life gets busy? Can you relate? I'm sure you can. So today I want to talk about what to do when that happens. So one of the things that I directed her to immediately was, she's a one-on-one client of mine. And so I have tools that I provide my one-on-one clients. So goal setting worksheets and things like that, how to stay on track with your goals. So I referred her to that, but to just give you an insight into what's involved with that is that one of the things that I want to encourage you to do when life gets busy is to keep your goal front of mind, right? Like that is really important, because when our goals are just in our head, they can get lost, right? They can get lost in making the sandwiches for the kids for school and paying your bills, or showing up to, getting your kids to karate or going to your yoga class, right? Our goals can just get pushed to the back of our mind and forgotten about. So the very first thing I would encourage you to do is make sure your goal, your precious, precious goal that you want to create, is written down and somewhere that you can see it. Now, that can be however that looks for you, whether you've got it on a screensaver on your phone, or do you have it written up in your bedroom or in your bathroom, somewhere where you see it every day. Just stay connected with it, right? Because think of your goal like a little tiny seedling that you've planted in one of those little pots that you get from the nursery. They're not very big. If you just shove that pot somewhere on a shelf and forget about it, it's not going to grow, right? For that seedling to grow, you need to give it attention. You need to remember that it exists. You need to make sure it gets some water, and that it is getting adequate sunlight, and that you're repotting it as it grows. It's exactly the same with your goals. You must keep them front of mind and not just shove them on a shelf somewhere and forget about them. If you like to journal, maybe you've written your goal down in your journal, but journals get closed and you can't see what's in them unless you're constantly picking them up and reading through them. So this is why I think it's incredibly powerful to have your goal written up on a poster, on a post-it note, on a screensaver, on your computer, as a reminder on your phone. So you are constantly seeing it every day. And then the next step that I would do is have some kind of ritual or process that you do, whether you are writing that goal down every day, or you connect to it once a week and you write your goal down at the start of every week. And then perhaps you decide on 1 to 3 things every week that you are going to do towards this goal. So this is the next step. So you're keeping your goal front of mind. And then the next thing you're going to do is decide on some actions that you are going to take towards creating that goal every week. And when you're busy, that might look like one small thing. And that's okay, right? Because this is the whole point. You're wanting to create the goal, but life is busy at the moment, right? Life isn't always busy. We do have times when we have time available, like we have seasons in our life, right? Like maybe if you've just had a baby, you're a bit preoccupied with that. Or if you're moving house, or if you've just started a new job and you're trying to launch a side hustle, like you're trying to grow a business, or you want to launch a podcast on the side, there are times in your life, seasonal, when you need to put more attention on certain things in your life, right? So if that's the case for you, don't let that be an obstacle to creating your goal, but also don't make yourself wrong if your goal isn't always the top priority, because sometimes, like if you're moving house, for example, maybe your top priority is actually packing boxes, ringing the removalist, getting those things organized. And yes, you want to keep working towards your goal, but you have to prioritize, right? You need to be intentional. So that's just a factor to keep in the back of your mind, that yes, keep taking action towards your goal, but also, I hate using the word like be realistic, but take action towards your goal in the context of your life. So if you are currently in a period of time when you're really busy, or you have other projects going on, or your significant other is away, right, on work, or you have an additional workload because of some aspect in your life, don't be hard on yourself and be cruel to yourself if you're not doing as much towards your big juicy goal than you usually would, or that you'd want to. Okay. So the other key piece here is being intentional. So this is huge, because you can be intentional and not do anything towards your goal in a particular week because you choose not to, right? So if we go with this random example I picked out, moving house, let's say you're in the process of moving house and you can intentionally choose, you know what, for this next 2 weeks, I'm not going to work on my goal deliberately, right? Intentionally, because moving house is my top priority right now and I'm going to focus on that, right? Or you could choose intentionally, hey, normally I do X, Y, Z towards creating my goal. I do 2 to 3 actions, but over the next 2 weeks, I'm just going to do one small, simple thing. Do you get where I'm going with this? It's the intentionality piece. It's really deciding ahead of time what you want to do instead of getting lost in the busyness of your life. Okay. One thing that you might find helpful is having a ritual where you are planning regularly, right? However that looks for you, like whether you're planning once a week or you're planning once a month, have a regular check-in time with yourself where you are deciding intentionally, what do I want to do towards my goal this week or this month, right? So there's your whole life going on. There's your personal life. There's your children if you have kids. There's maybe you have an aspect of your business that you have to regularly keep ticking over, right? Like, for example, I have this podcast. It comes out every week, except for when I have seasonal breaks. That's something that I just get done, right? It's a reoccurring thing that always happens. But if there's another project that I want to do in my business, then I need to allocate the time for that and be really intentional about it. So that's why having a ritual where you're planning ahead of time, however that looks for you, right? Like, you don't have to time block, you don't have to do it in a way that doesn't work for you, but set a regular time when you are making decisions, intentional decisions about what you're going to do towards your goal. Okay. Because this is the key piece. Like, how do you keep focusing on your goal when life gets busy if you don't put any attention on your goal? Makes sense, right? Like, if you're not focusing on your goal, if you don't put any attention on it, if you don't make any intentional decisions, it's not going to happen. So that is really the key point. And just also really allowing yourself to make decisions in a way that works with you and your life. So I'm going to keep this really short today because I just want you to be able to get on with it. So let's just recap on what I just said. So your big juicy goal, you have an amazing goal, you're so passionate about it, you want to get it off the ground, and yet you have a life with things happening in it and you're busy. So how to keep focusing on your goal when life gets busy? Well, One, keep your goal front of mind. Make sure you have it somewhere where you can see it regularly. So every day I have my goal on the wall here right next to me where I sit. I also write down my goal every week. I don't write it down every single day, but I'm writing it down every week and connecting with it and deciding what I'm going to do. So that's the next piece. Have some sort of ritual every week or every month, whatever time period that suits you, and decide, what action am I going to take towards this goal in this period of time, like this week or this month? And just pick 1 to 3 things. You don't need to go crazy, because remember, this is a solution for you when you're busy, right? So pick 1 to 3 things, be intentional about it, and then take that action, right? And remember to stay connected with the goal by looking at your goal every day. You've written it down. It's somewhere where you can see it. You've got your 1 to 3 actions that you're going to do, and then do the actions. And the pieces to back you up to do that is decide on what actions you want to take in the context of your life. So it's okay to be in seasons of your life. Maybe there's certain periods of the month where you're slammed with certain things. So there's a couple of weeks each month where you're a bit more light on with the goal creation. And then in other parts of the month, it's a heavier week where you dive right in and get more done. There's no rules. Please do it in a way that works for you, because that's how you're going to have success, right? Okay, so you've got this. Keep your goal front of mind. Write down a few actions that you're going to do each week or each month, and then go ahead and do those actions and plan what you're going to do in the context of your life. You've got this. All right, until I get in your ears again next week, make sure you don't miss out on the special with the VIP week that is only available for 2 more days. I think it cuts off at 5 o'clock on Thursday, the 18th. That's Australian Eastern Standard Time. So for those of you who are listening in the Northern Hemisphere, in the US or Canada and Europe, remember that I'm a day ahead of you. I'm currently talking to you from the future. So if I say it cuts off on Thursday for you, that actually means it cuts off on Wednesday. So don't delay. Go and take up advantage of that amazing offer that I've got going right now for signing up for a VIP week with me. And yeah, until I speak with you again next week, have an amazing week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Money Mindful podcast. For future episodes, be sure to subscribe. Ready to take the next steps? Creating your money and life goals can be super challenging if you don't have a process to follow. Get my free course that will help you get unstuck, clarify your goals, and get you going. For more info, go to meaghanjsmith.au.